guys, and welcome back to a new video here in Mickey Reaction. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And now, let's get started. Before we start, don't forget to get your merch from No Limit Store. You can find the link in the description down below.
A lot of us go through a rebellious phase, but I was a complete monster. I swear I had genuine reasons though. I'm not saying that to make you feel bad or anything, but I had a pretty rough childhood. I never knew my parents and spent my entire life in the foster care system. I bounced from house to house at least 7 times a year. I know what you're thinking. How could someone just give away a kid in need? Well, I'll admit that I was the one to blame, in the beginning at least. Before I go into any of that though, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to My Story Animated to hear more crazy stories about people just like you. If you do, you'll get tons of likes on your next post. Trust me, I was pretty Insta-famous for a while. See, that was part of my problem actually. I was convinced that the family life wasn't for me at all. Despite the fact that all my foster families were pretty nice, I was really rude and mean. I only cared about making videos, partying, and taking selfies. I got into the habit of stealing things and skipping school. When I didn't get my way, I would scream and shout at the top of my lungs. I'm embarrassed to think back to this day, but I think it describes the old me pretty well. I was living with this nice old couple and 4 other foster kids. They forbade me from partying on school nights, but I went out anyway and stole their car to get there. When I came home, all they did was ground me and take away my cell phone. I got so mad that I screamed and smashed their things. I made the old lady cry. I feel horrible thinking back about it. I just couldn't control myself. I don't know how I was ever that mean. I wasn't evil, though. I was just a troubled child. I actually had some outbursts that had nothing to do with misbehaving. Sometimes I had horrible nightmares that would wake me up screaming. Mixed with my behavior problems, a lot of foster homes didn't have the patience for my outbursts, hence moving around so much. By the time I was 16, I had been through every single foster home in my city. I tried to keep cool, but I was honestly terrified I'd end up stuck in an orphanage until I was an adult. Now, I may have been a monster, but I was nothing compared to the residents of the local orphanage. It was filled with the worst kids I knew, and I didn't want to end up there with them. They would have beaten me up. I wasn't nearly as tough as I liked to pretend. When my caseworker walked into the room, I burst into tears. I begged her not to ship me off to the orphanage. She thought for a second and said she might have an option for me, but I wasn't gonna like it. How bad could it be? I asked. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. That's exactly what someone says before they walk into the worst possible situation. My caseworker made a quick phone call and let me know that I was good to go. I would be leaving right this instant. I picked up my backpack, which was full of everything I owned, and was put on a bus to the middle of nowhere. I had no clue where I was going. As the bus started driving off, I Googled some pictures of the place. It wasn't even on the map. I was going to the middle of nowhere. I started screaming. I ran over and begged the bus driver to stop, but he said it was already too late. I posted one last selfie letting my followers know that I was going to be taking a break from social media. Something told me that there wasn't going to be any service out in the middle of nowhere. I was a city girl obsessed with the internet and gaming, and I couldn't even watch My Story Animated where I was going. My cell phone service cut out maybe a half hour into the trip. 3 hours later, I was awoken by the bus stopping. I looked out the window and saw this huge, creepy mansion. I thought it was the town hall to get my papers or something. I was shocked when the bus driver said, "We're here." I told him he was supposed to take me to my new home directly. Oh, sweetie. He laughed. This is it. Then he just drove off, leaving me alone with my backpack at the entrance to the mansion. I walked cautiously up to the door and knocked a couple of times with no answer. I called out but still got no answer. I saw a letter taped to the door and decided to open it. It read, "Welcome home, Charlotte. Please let yourself in." Sure enough, the door was unlocked. It creaked open slowly and creepily. I walked right in and decided to explore. Now, I know I said the outside was scary, but that was nothing compared to the interior of the house. It felt like it was straight from the Addams family. There were huge portraits on the wall with group photos of at least 20 kids, all dressed up in old-timey clothes as well as all types of taxidermy. It looked like the set of a horror movie or a cult, and I didn't even know the half of it yet. You know that sixth sense feeling you get after watching a scary movie late at night? Like the one where you can feel someone watching you? Well, I got that feeling and all the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I flipped around and saw a serious-looking nun staring at me and frowning. She looked me up and down in disgust. I was wearing pretty short shorts and a crop top.
Alright guys, so this is part 1 of the story. Wait us tomorrow to watch the part 2. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.